It's your life. It's not their life. It's your choice what you do. It ain't their choice. And if that's what you want to do, you go out there and you do it. Because guess what? Those little voices that are here and there and all around, you're never going to get anything done. And then you're going to be buried in the cemetery of potential, which is the biggest cemetery in the entire world. It's your boy Crispy, the Keep It Crispy podcast. Another blessed day, man. First, before we even start anything, we are here in the building. This is super uncut. Just me and you guys. We don't have a guest today. We're literally going to take this opportunity to speak to each and every one of you, and thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for the support for the podcast. It's only been about not even 2 months since we started this. We're around like 9 episodes in. I mean, we almost at 1,500 subscribers already. You guys are amazing. Each video is getting mad love. Like, I don't know where I will be without you guys, and I just want to like personally thank each and every one of you for taking your time out. You know, you got Instagram, you got YouTube, you got millions of other videos that you could be looking at, different things that you could be doing, but you're taking the time out to listen to me talk and listen to me put positive energy out there to the world and to you guys by bringing on super dope guests that have been in, you know, the basketball world, the football world, the athletic world for a while now and literally have made names for themselves on a national stage. And we kind of peek behind the lens to see what they go through on their daily life to get to where they are. Because I know when I was growing up, there was nothing really out there that I could be watching that gave me a behind-the-scenes look as a athlete or somebody that I looked up to was coming up. You know, you would obviously see them after they made it, and they're on a national stage, and they're making millions, and they're already 10 years deep into it. But what I really wanted to show everybody is the process. You know what I mean? I wanted to show everybody the journey. Take you from step A, from when somebody's literally on their grind. They haven't made it yet. They're still grinding for their goals, and they show exactly what they did to get to the level that they're finally going to be at. So that's why we really started a podcast, because it's just, you know, I've never had that personally growing up, and I used to love basketball. I still do. You know, I would be playing all day long when I was sleeping, just throwing the ball up. You know, I was following Sebastian Telfair, Stephon Marbury, man. I'll be going to West 4th Street, the Cage, and all that kind of stuff just to be around that kind of energy. So that's why I wanted to reciprocate it with the podcast. So today's episode, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We don't have a guest that we're going to be chopping it up with. It's literally just us right here talking. And I think I get a question a lot. And the question I get a lot is, how the heck did you build a brand from absolutely nothing, from literally an idea that just came up like out of nowhere? And how did you get it in front of millions of people and have like $1 million brand with Crispy? So that's what we're here going to talk about, a little bit behind the scenes of when I first started. So I mean, with Crispy, it's more than a brand to me. It's a lifestyle, and I'll tell you why. Well, I mean, my nickname all my life has been called Crispy. Everybody calls me that just because my first name is Chris. My last name begins with a P, Patiri, Chris P. So that's how the brand actually originated. But for a lot of you guys don't know, each letter of the brand means something. So C means courage, R means relentless, I means integrity, S means self-love, and P means persistence. Now, those are not just random words because they begin with the letter. No, they actually are words that I embody and that I live by. So I think very important that in this day and age with social media and all these millions and trillions of different ideas popping up and businesses popping up left and right, it's so easy to get yourself out there now, as long as you have a vision and you make that vision your priority and your passion. I'm telling you guys right now, you need to make a name for yourself these day and ages, because if you're not in front of people and people don't know who you are, you're going to be forgotten and you're just going to live an average life. Now, that's fine for some people. Some people want to live an average life. Totally fine with me. I ain't about that. I don't want to live an average life. I want to make an impact on the world. I want to create a legacy that I can pass on to my son and keep it going for generations after generations after generations. That's really my goal. That's literally my goal. Now I'm going to do whatever it takes to achieve that goal. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is, By you doing that and by you focusing on your passion, whatever, everybody has a passion, guys. Okay? Now, I just think a lot of you are just afraid to take that first step, either because you're afraid of what other people are going to think, you're afraid of failing, or you're just too lazy. It's one or the other, or you just don't want to. If you really want something, you cannot be afraid of what other people tell you. Super important. You got to you have to go out there and you got to put yourself into the universe. Okay? It doesn't matter what John thinks down the block or Mary thinks from school. It don't matter. They're not paying your bills. They're not building anything for you. There's just distractions, and you can't let distractions get in your way from achieving something. If you guys just understand what I'm saying real quick, because this is what got me over a lot of different humps and a lot of different obstacles. Because shit ain't easy. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not easy. I didn't wake up and have 80,000 followers on Instagram and sell millions of dollars on merch. I didn't wake up doing that. Nah. It takes work, hard work, and dedication. People say that all the time. Yeah, hard work and dedication. Okay, but what does it mean? I'm going to tell you what it means. You got to be on your shit from the minute that you get up to the minute that you go to sleep. Every single day, you can't deter or you can't focus on anything else but getting to what your goals are. When you wake up in the morning, here's a little tip for you. Before you even, let's say that you want to become, you want your own clothing brand. Okay. Millions of people got clothing brands, guys. I'm not the only one. You're not the only one. Trillions and millions and billions of people got clothing brands. People got ideas. Everybody in this world got ideas. There's a lot of people that got dope designs. It ain't hard to design stuff. It's not hard at all. A lot of people, I can't even draw that good myself. People could draw better than me and probably have cool and dope designs too. But it's how you execute and how you get it out there to the masses and how you portray your story and how you portray your purpose and passion. That's what's going to differentiate you from everybody else. So before you even decide about starting a brand, or maybe you already have a brand, clothing brand already, or any other kind of brand, and you're watching this video, I'm telling you right now, you have to have a purpose and a passion for it, or else it's going to fade away and it's going to be a little fad and it's gone. 1, 2, 3. You can't do that. It's got to be a deep-seated meaning. You have to have a deep-rooted meaning for what you're doing. Just think about that. What moves you? What moves you to tears when you think of it? Because you don't have it yet. And you want to do it because you don't want, your son or your daughter or your children to look at you as a failure. You want them to see a winner. Or maybe it's your husband or wife, you're doing it for them. Or you're doing it for, your grandparents or your mother, your father, whoever it is, for yourself, for your own self-respect and self-love, passion and purpose. That's cool. But you have to have a really deep-seated meaning for you to be able to go out there and continue going out there. Because once you start, there ain't no turning back. I'll tell you that right now. The second that you turn back and you give up on your dreams or what you're shooting for, it's over. You lost. You're a loser. And you got to start all over from the ground up. So first, let's talk to the people that haven't started yet. If you really want to do something, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have a plan or a business that you want to do, or you want to build your brand, but you haven't done it yet, ask yourself why. Why haven't I went out there and started this business yet? Why? What's the reason? Ask yourself that before anything. You're going to find a reason. Either you're lazy, like I said before, either that you're afraid of what other people think of you, or you're afraid of failing. It's got to be one of them reasons. All right? If you're humanly capable of waking up and walking and talking and moving and thinking, you have all extremity movements, ain't no excuse. Because there's people out there in worse situations than you and me, and are making shit happen with absolutely nothing. Not a goddamn dime. Not a goddamn dime. There's people in the middle of Nebraska, in the middle of North Dakota with nothing. No kind of motion going on at all around them. And they're creating shit. And they're making it happen. And why can't you? Especially if you're already in an inner city, or if you're already around something that's already, like people that are in motion, there's no excuse. So the first thing is you got to understand, why haven't you started yet? Once you figure out why you haven't started yet, take it another step further. After you figure out why you haven't started, now you got to say, okay, it's because I'm afraid of failing. Why are you afraid of failing? I'm afraid of failing because I don't know what my mom's going to say, or I don't know what my cousin Jose is going to say. It doesn't matter. It does not matter who the hell says what and what. And it doesn't matter because guess what? It's your life. It's not their life. It's your choice what you do. It ain't their choice. And if that's what you want to do, you go out there and you do it. Because guess what? Those little voices that are here and there and all around, you're never going to get anything done. And then you're going to be buried in the cemetery of potential, which is the biggest cemetery in the entire world, if you guys haven't known. Just think about it. How many people had potential that are going to do this, that are going to do that? Oh, I'm going to do this. I got this idea. And they never act on it. You got to act on it. We're in a world that every single day shit is happening, man. Companies are being built every day. $billion companies. Boom. Uber, Lyft. You got fucking Klarna. You got Affirm. You got all these different companies, Airbnb, that are just made out of thin air. And then 5-10 years from now, they're bought for billions of dollars because it's an idea that somebody executed on. It literally means that. Like, you can't worry about other people, what they deter you. So if that's the reason, because you're afraid of failing, well, then that's what you have to think of before you get started. And the same thing goes if you're afraid of what other people think. Like I just said, it doesn't matter what people think. It don't matter. They ain't paying your bills. They ain't going to be helping you. And if they really wanted you to succeed, they'll be pushing you to go and do it anyway. So that's how you know you can't listen to the outside noise. Now, if you're too lazy, and that's the reason why, there's only one cure for laziness, and that's activity and motion. Got to get up, and you just got to do it. Don't even think twice. Got to change up your routine. Stop doing the same shit every single day. Because if you do the same shit every single day, you're going to get the same results every single day. So if you want to get something new out of life, and you're trying your new goals, and you want to get, to a $10,000 a month brand, and you're doing the same thing, making $1,000 a month, how you think that's going to make a difference? You're going to continue getting the same results. You got to be out there. You got to get fired up every single day. So now, those are for the people that haven't started yet. If you started already, guys, a lot of you guys have brands already, clothing brands. I know thousands of people that already have clothing brands. They're everywhere. What's going to differentiate you from a regular brand to a brand that's making millions of dollars a year and that has a community behind them? I just said it right there. Community behind you. A lot of you guys are not showing your face. You're just building a blind brand. Why are you doing that? People want to know who's behind the brand. They want to know what the message stands for. They want to know the story. You can't just throw a random design on some pants or some shirt and then try to sell it and think you're about to make $1 million doing that. That ain't gonna happen. You gotta be out there showing people your actual your energy. You know what I mean? You gotta have a story. You got to have a story, man. I go live every single day almost on the Crispy page, and I'm talking about different things. I'm showing people the background. I'm showing everybody when I was in the storage unit on the floor packing shirts. I don't give a shit because people want to see the behind the scenes of things. They don't just want to see you, on a yacht fucking selling shirts on the side without knowing what you're doing. Nah, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. They want to see the hustle. They want to see the grind. Because if I could do it, or we could do it, you could do it. It pretty much ends like that. That's what it is. If we could do it, you could do it. So again, you got to make that decision. You got to have passion for it. You got to find a passion. You can't just do shit, and it's just not going to last. It might last a couple of years, and then you had a good run, and that's it. It's going to fade away. Every day you got to wake up. This got to be your little baby. It's like raising a child, having a brand. From a small little baby, rocking him back and forth, making sure the baby eats, making sure he's fed, cleaned, and all that stuff. It's the same thing with a brand, man. It's the same thing with a brand. Every day is something different. You cannot lose attention on the brand. You lose attention on the brand's going to fly away and it's gone. Can't do that. So once you actually got the brand going and you start your actual, journey for building your own brand, you have to keep in the back of your head that you cannot give up. That's number one. Never give up. Obviously, if you give up, it's over. So for those people that are actually already building it and you're already, far into it, and you feel like giving up, now that you're going to feel it. I'll be honest with you. People say, oh, no, I ain't never giving up. Fuck that. You're definitely going to feel it. Everybody feels it. I feel it. You feel it. We all feel it. The most important thing about it is you got to just keep on going. Keep on going. So many successful people out there failed so many times, and they just kept going and going and going until finally they got to a point where, okay, now it's time to turn shit up even more. So do not, whatever you do, no matter how hard it feels, you're gonna have times that you're gonna feel like, I'm not gonna do this no more. And you want to just sit back and like slow down and take your foot off the pedal. You're definitely gonna have times like that. I have many times like that, but it's at that very instant. You gotta understand me. It's at that very instant that shit is about to click and change. I promise. It happens all the time. All the time. When it feels like the world is coming down on you, it's literally a sign like, if you get through what's about to happen to you, we got a bigger blessing waiting for you. But if you don't, then you're not a winner. You just gave up and you lost out all that momentum that you had. I'm telling you right now, nothing great comes easy or in your comfort zone. You got to get out. You got to take risks. Every single goddamn day, man. This is your life we're talking about. Like, this is number one priority is your life. This is you. A lot of you guys have responsibilities. You guys have families. You guys have people that count on you. There's no excuse, man. There's no excuse. If you decide that you want to live an average life, that's perfectly fine. I'm happy for you as long as you're happy. But if you want more out of life and you're complaining that it's not enough, the money's not coming in, don't think of it like that. Don't think about the money coming in. I ain't make shit for 2.5 years. No profit, no nothing. But I kept going and going and going because I'm thinking for the future. That's the second thing. Think for the future. Don't think for now. No matter what happens, don't think about the present. Enjoy the present. Enjoy the times that you have. Enjoy the process. That's the funnest part. The process is the funnest part, man. I love when I was on a bedroom floor packing, and like I had no location, I had nothing. I loved every minute of it because I enjoyed doing it. You know what I mean? I was up for hours just packing shit and putting things, labels on, and shipping things myself, going to the post office every day. I loved it. Then I upgraded to a storage unit, which was cool too. I had no mind about having a storage unit. Now we're blessed to finally have our own warehouse and our own shop here, the headquarters, the Crispy headquarters. But it would not be possible if I would have given up. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Do not give up, no matter what. So as you're building the brand, another thing is to make sure you're out there engaging with your audience, okay? All of you guys should know who your target audience is. That's another thing. If you're building a brand, you guys have to know who the message is for. Can't just be out there for the whole world to see. Some people like cooking. Some people like this. You know what I mean? Some people like that. But not everybody's going to like what you're doing. So why are you appealing to the whole masses? You got to have a niche, man. You got to know who you're talking to. You know what I mean? You got to know what you're talking to. So after that, then you can cater your pieces and your products to those people who really show support and who are really genuinely interested in what you have to offer. So you have to understand that. And I know a lot of you guys are probably camera shy, or, you don't want to be out there doing crazy videos or anything like that, or, engaging, you're embarrassed or whatever. Don't be embarrassed. What are you embarrassed of? Remember the time that we were all little kids? This is a good analogy. We were all little kids before. We were all running around doing shit. We didn't know what we were doing, getting in trouble. If we wanted a candy bar or whatever the case is, we're going to cry. We're going to go crazy until we get that candy bar. You know what I mean? We wanted to be doctors or be a millionaire when we were small, or like lawyers or whatever. And we had that energy. We had that vibe. Like, we wanted it so bad, and we didn't care. We weren't embarrassed to say it. You know what I mean? We were embarrassed to say, oh, I want some candy. Oh, and then you go crazy for it, or whatever the case is, like, until you actually get it. You weren't shy to do that. What changed from when we were a little kid mentality till now? Well, life obviously happens, but it's the shit that gets into your mind the outside noise, society telling you can't do this, you got to live the normal life like a robot and like a sheep. All that shit gets into you and it clouds your judgment, and then you just forget about that passion and those dreams you had as a kid, and it sucks. It happens to all of us because that's what society wants. They want people to follow the norm so they can control everybody. They don't want nobody breaking out of the cycle and making shit happen for themselves. They don't want that. They shoot out commercials and TV shows and radio and signs and everything to get you out of that, like to get you out of thinking that you could own the world and the world is yours. They don't want you to think that. They just want you to just work a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Go to school, maybe get a degree, drown in debt afterwards, get a job for $60,000, $70,000 a year, retire on a pension that you can't even afford to live on afterwards, and then die, and a couple people come to your funeral, cry. 2 weeks later, no one even gives a fuck. Everybody's back to life, and the cycle goes on and on and on and on. That's what everybody wants, control. You guys have to understand, break out of the cycle, man. The world's a huge place. Go out there. Don't matter what people think. Build your brand. Get known. Make sure everybody knows who the hell what your name is. Super important that people know who you are, especially at this time of our lifetime. 2023, we're in a 20th century. Everybody's on social media. Everybody. If you're not on it, I mean, no one knows you. If no one knows you, how you gonna make money? How you gonna get a lifestyle? How are you going to achieve your dreams, man? You got to be out there. I'm telling you, stop being afraid. You think I was like this when I first came on talking? Nah. In the very beginning, I was afraid just like everybody else to be out there, expressing myself to millions of people. It's crazy because you could literally go on Instagram or wherever and you can put a post on TikTok and just randomly reach millions of people without even paying anything. Back in the day, there was no social media. You had to pay thousands of dollars, millions of dollars to be on a commercial on TV or to be on the radio or some old school stuff like that. But now we're in a different era. You guys got to man up, boss up. The time is right now. The time is right now. Don't slow down. For everybody that has a brand now, we're already into past the part of building the brand up and getting started. Now we're into the phase of, okay, I have my brand already. I'm building it. I'm just telling you little tips of mindset. The mindset is the most important thing, guys. I could tell you all day long on how to create a design or how to get shit printed or where to get it printed. But let's be serious, man. You guys are capable of finding that shit out yourself. Go on YouTube. It's easy. But who's going to teach you the mindset behind it? That's the difference, man. A lot of you guys don't have that mindset. And that's not your fault. Because I didn't have the mindset in the beginning either. Because I had years of training my mentality to think like everybody else. And I was like a robot in the whole system. And everybody's born that way, unfortunately. But I'm telling you now, you got to untrain your mind of all the things that you've been told. Everything's been a lie. Since you were born, I promise you. Everything that you've been told in school and you've been told growing up, it's been a lie. It's not making you build a dynasty and a legacy. It's not. It's not meant for that. It's meant for you just to be in a little hamster wheel. Round and round and round. Now, this episode right here, what we're talking about right here, is to get your mind out of the gutter and to build a goddamn dynasty. That's what we're trying to do. And the mindset is the most important thing in the world. Stop listening to the garbage that you're listening to. All right? It's meant to keep you occupied from the major goal. All right? Maybe every now and then you can chill, watch a little TV. I don't hardly ever watch TV, but I'm just saying, like, if you do want that time, that's fine. Go on a little vacation, get your mind set, come back, and it's game time. It's game time, man, because you guys literally have the power to change the entire world. I'm telling you from experience, man, when I started Crispy, not one person knew what the fuck I was doing. Not nobody knew what the hell the brand was. No one knew. Nothing. It was literally an idea I had, and I'm like, all right, now how do I get this idea out? That's how it started. And now literally it's $1 million brand. We have thousands and thousands of people rocking the gear. You know what I mean? We have awesome friends. We created great relationships with a lot of people out there. You know, a lot of influential people, you know, really, really support the brand for the message that it is. And I'm truly blessed for that. But I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be talking to you guys if I didn't have the experience as to how I got here. I'm just literally relaying what I was thinking, building my brand to get to this point. And so this podcast here, Keep It Crispy Podcast, it's all about positivity and motivational purposes only. So when we bring on these guests that we have, these ain't just regular guests, guys. We didn't just find random people on the street. No, we're bringing proven talent, proven individuals and young men and women that are on here that are giving you their life story as to how they achieve their goals and their aspirations in the future. It's not even just about now. It's about the future too. So I think that's a very, very important thing. And I don't see a lot of podcasts doing that. A lot of podcasts are just, you know, interviewing dope guests, but they're already at their prime or they're already achieved everything. I want to hear from the nitty gritty from the very beginning before somebody becomes, let's say, LeBron James. Imagine I had LeBron James here interviewing him before he's where he is now. Imagine how that talk would be. Like, what did he do in high school, like 10th, 11th, 12th grade, freshman year of college to get to where he is today? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to uncover because that's what I really, really wanted to hear when I was growing up. I just didn't, there were no sources to do that. So that's why we're putting this podcast out here. So again, I really hope what we said today sticks with you guys because this was a very, emotional podcast. This literally is, my life story, building brands and doing what I'm doing now, my mindset and everything. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys, should hear it and take a lot out of it because I promise you, if you just follow anything that I said today, just never give up, get started, forget what anybody thinks, what anybody says, it doesn't matter. You have the power to change the world. It doesn't matter what anything else. It just matters what you think and that you can do it. And people know that you can do it. I know you can do it. So go do it. Get fired up. Keep it crispy.